while, but I have read multiple studies on
No, yeah, but
and
I'm
I've
saying
talked to multiple experts.
Yeah.
And if I didn't, I would say I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But fluoride is not healthy. It's not, it's not a good
but
thing
I'm
for you
saying,
to take.
I'm just wondering about your
that's
process.
one of those
yeah.
ones where I can just say that.
Yeah.
But then there's other things where it's like a vegan diet. I know people that do it. I know people that have pulled it off. It's possible to do it. Yeah, you look like shit. No, I'm just kidding.
You motherfucker.
You look all right. You look thin and healthy.
Thank you so
But
much.
you can do it if you supplement carefully, and you're a smart guy. You know what to eat and what not to eat.
And I can get my blood tested and go to a guy
you get
and he tells me,
vitamin B. You have money.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
do all the things that you do to make sure that you're okay. And it absolutely can be done. I know people that eat a vegan diet. And I also think there's biodiversity. There's some people, their ancestry is very different. Their genetics are very different, and they're much more a vegan diet is more tolerable for them. Like Indian people. Indian people have been eating vegetarian food for so fucking long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would imagine that their body, their genes have adapted if they've come from a long line of vegetarians.
Yeah, like they're kind of stuck with vegetable, and they're they're kind of stuck.
I mean, maybe
with,
it would be beneficial
yeah.
for them to supplement. With
or they figured it out.
protein.
They have it. Their
Yeah.
body has figured if they're
Yeah.
whatever it was deficient in, it's figured out a way around it by what was available to them.
Right, but when we look at countries that consume more meat, they're healthier and they live longer. Hong Kong is a great example of that. So there's some great studies that have been done on Hong Kong. They have like one of the highest meat consumptions and higher life expectancies. And but
Yeah, and then there's also
then
like
again,
Blue
it's like,
Zone.
how long have they been doing it?
Yeah,
yeah,
and the blue zone or the like a little bit of protein. Yeah, it's. I guess what you're saying is the acknowledgement that like shit's complicated and there's no one right or wrong answer.
There's also things like healthy user bias. Like the most important thing that pretty much most of the objective doctors will say, the most important thing is physical activity. And that if you are not physically active and you eat well, you're almost better off smoking cigarettes and being physically active than doing that.
By the way, this is always fascinating to me because I've been asking people, do you know what percentage of people smokers die of lung cancer?
What percentage?
10 to 15%.
That's crazy.
Isn't that low?
That's crazy.
Wouldn't you think it's like 60?
That's crazy.
It's 10 to, and I've looked it up repeatedly. Like, am I misreading this? The amount of smokers that die of lung cancer is 10 to 15%.
But do they die of other stuff?
Well,
along
yeah,
the way?
of course, comorbidities, et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera. But
because it's like smoking just in general. Like you're limiting your oxygen intake. There's a lot of factors. There's
yeah, but
toxins.
it's not as bad as you'd hope.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's this one doctor that I was talking to that was very adamant about that. He goes, physical activity. If you don't have physical activity, you might as well be a drinker and a smoker.
Yeah, you're fucked. And then there's also the loneliness thing.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one, man. It's a big factor. What percentage of folks? Studies found the risk of developing lung cancer increases to 14% if you smoke cigarettes. If you smoke 1 to 5 cigarettes per day, your risk is around 7.7%. And if you smoke more than 35 cigarettes a day, you have a 26% chance of developing. Well, that's a lot.
That's all 35
By
cigarettes.
80, though. By 80.
Yeah, I know.
That's like a
There you
whole
go.
lifetime
like-
of smoking 35. What is that, a pack and a half?
Yeah, almost two.
Almost 2, yeah.
Is 2 packs 40?
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 in a pack.
Wow. 26%.
2 packs is
That's
still
3 out
only-
of 4.
Yeah, it's like you're.
Which, by the way, is the exact same number of FDA drugs that get pulled. 25% of all FDA-approved drugs get pulled because they've killed too many people.
Oh, right. When they're like, oh, fuck.
Whoopsies.
We didn't test it good enough.
Yeah, whoopsies. We believe the pharmaceutical drug companies.
Yeah.
That was the weird one for me during the pandemic was the trust in the pharmaceutical drug companies. And especially when I started talking to experts that actually spent their living litigating financial settlements for adverse effects of drugs. And you find out that scientists, when you hear about peer-reviewed data, they're not even allowed to see the actual data. They see the analysis of the data by the pharmaceutical drug companies that perform the studies.
I'm of two minds about this because on the one hand, I agree with you and I've had similar experiences. And on the other hand, I'm like, I don't fucking have time to do the research on all of these things myself. And I have a lot of time. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, everything's fucking corrupt.
Right.
And it's so aggravating and so like predictable because it's just human beings and they're just going to be corrupt. And you just have to hope that the thing that you're the pill you're taking wasn't a victim of the corruption or the operation or even the stem cell or whatever you do. You just have to hope it wasn't a victim of humanity. And so I'm with you because I've heard shit about I've learned you can test for anything. I've heard statisticians say you can make anything. You can crunch numbers any way you want to get to what you need.
Well, they certainly have done that, and that's the big Vioxx scandal. Like in the emails when they released Vioxx, they literally said,
Which one's Vioxx?
Vioxx is an anti-inflammatory that they use that is no better than non-steroidal anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen, and it's killed somewhere in the neighborhood of 60,000 Americans before it was pulled.
Well, there was that other one, the the antihistamine that wasn't anything.
What's that one?
The Sudafed one, the one that was like a month and a half ago. Most cough medicine wasn't medicine.
What?
Look
Really?
at it. I assumed you did like an emergency episode about this.
I never even heard of it.
No, I don't even know what to look up. Cough medicine
isn't medicine.
Fraud. Yeah. Look up cough medicine isn't medicine. It was fucking insane. But again, my kid has a cold.
Right.
So my kid's literally stuffed up this very second. I'm a parent. The fuck am I supposed to do?
Right. You get medicine. This is medicine. It's at the store. Cough medicine. Got it. I got cough medicine for
okay,
him.
good. I'm a good parent.
Head
This
home.
should knock it out.
Yeah.
And now it turns out it's just a bunch of garbage.
What